Hello everybody, welcome back or welcome to my booktube channel. Today I have a very exciting video. Seriously, say that every time. I hope they're exciting. But for this video, I'm going to be doing my 2021 stats and my 2022 goals and 5-star predictions. So we have a lot to go over in this one video and I don't want it to be super long. I have all of my stats here. I'm just going to be reading from the Goodreads My Year in Books thing. This is like slightly off because there are some books I have written in my notes app that I did not add here. The thing is, I would have to go through them and figure that out because there are a lot written in my notes page. I did end up adding a couple because I wanted to get up to 300. So basically, let's get started. I'm gonna move over here. I'll take screenshots and put them up for you guys to see as well. On here, it says I read 294 books this past year, and that totals up to 100,101 pages based on what Google Calculator says. I supposedly read 277 pages a day this past year, which no, there's literally no way. Going down a little bit more, the shortest book I read this year was 4 pages. It was The Meeting by Rochelle Mead, which is like a really short story. Is it even a story? It was 4 pages, but it was like the point of view of Dimitri when he first saw Rose. And I felt like, even though Dimitri's not my favorite, I felt like I needed to finish every single novella from this series, and that is what I'm still trying to do. And my longest book of the year was Zodiac Academy Cursed Fates, which I finished last month, I think, and that was 886 pages. My average book length in 2021 was 340, which seems to be lower than a lot of people I'm seeing, which makes sense. I don't like long books at all. I don't want to have to put that much commitment into one book because I've noticed like I get bored so quick with everything. My most popular book was Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, and it has 10.2 million people that have read it and shelved it on Goodreads. And then my least popular was The Stories of Vladimir Nabokov, which 139 people shelved. I had to read that for school, so that is the only reason it's on here. But anyways, my average rating for 2021 was 3.2 stars, which makes sense. Like, I gave so many 3 stars. So many 3 and 4, and not enough 5, unfortunately. My highest rated book on Goodreads is The Promised Neverland Volume 4 with a 4.63 average rating. Makes sense. They're really good. My first review of the year is The House on Mango Street, again for school. Last review of the year was Mistborn: The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson, and I gave it 4.5 stars. Honestly, a perfect way to stop the year. I'm just glad it wasn't a terrible book at the end. We had a fairly good book. And then I did complete my reading goal. It was 100 books. Now we're gonna go on Storygraph because Storygraph has way more information. So on Storygraph, it says that I have read 314 books, which is 106,338 pages. My top 3 moods were adventurous, emotional, and mysterious. And then dark is next. The pace, we have fast at 45%, medium at 37%, and slow at 17%. See, I don't like slow books. No, thank you. Page number 300 to 400 was 64%, 500 plus was 10%. I can't read these. 26% were under 300. I had 4 nonfiction books and 303 fiction books, which makes sense. The 4 were definitely for school. My top genres were young adult, romance, and fantasy. The format is completely wrong. Let's just not go over that because most of them would be audiobooks. Most read authors. Okay. First is Jennifer L. Armentrout. I read 28 books this year from her. Colleen Hoover is second with 14. Cassandra Clare with 8. Laura Thalassa with 6. I read the most books in July. I read 40 books. My average star rating specifically is 3.26. Yeah, there we go. That is my statistics of 2021. So next is the reading goals for 2021. No, not 2021, for 2022. And the goals and predictions, I'm doing this in this video so that next year around this time I can react to them and tell you guys if I kept up with the goals and if I read all the 5-star rating to tell you if I read the 5-star predictions. So I randomly have 11 goals. I was going for either 10 or 12, 2022, or just 10 because that's like a normal number. But we have 11 today. We're just gonna go with that. My first goal is read 100 books. I know. Ooh, hear that voice crack? So based on the books I read last year, yes, I read 300 books, but also a lot of them were terrible and bad and just meh, and I don't want to do that. I would rather just like read really slow with books I like than try and speed through books I don't like. So honestly, I'm hoping to read less next year or this year, whatever. I just think reading slower will help me enjoy the books I'm reading more, and I seriously need that. Seriously. Maybe the stats will tell me how, will tell us all how many 5 stars and, oh wait, it did say that on Storygraph. Okay. For example, this year, out of 300 and, what was it? Out of 314 books, 16 were 1 star, 47 were 2, 75 were 3, 77 were 4, and 27 were 5. Out of 314, 27 of my books were 5 stars. Like, that is so depressing. This year, I need to stop. This year, that cannot be the case. My next goal is, okay, it's the same. I can delete this next goal and I will have 10 goals. Oh my god. The next one was read less in 2021, but I just said that. So there we go. The second one is to finish every series I was in 2021, because there are many too many, if you know what I mean. It stresses me out. I don't know why, because I feel like after the first book, unless I'm absolutely addicted to the series, then I don't want to continue the series. I don't really care anymore. But there's a lot of books where I loved the first book and I just have no desire to go on to the second one. I don't understand. Should I like remove that from my TBR and just like forget about the book, even though the first one was good? Or do I just, I'm thinking of like, I could never do this. Let's just preface this with this. I could never do this, but I want to just like spend an entire month catching up on every single series and finishing all of them and just being done so that I can start a new series, because that would be my dream. I was gonna do a video about that before 2022 began. Obviously I failed. It was gonna be a 24-hour readathon and I fell asleep and I gave up. I started filming and fell asleep at 11 p.m. when I had started at 10 p.m. and was like, no. The next goal, number 3, is don't do readathons or don't vlog them. Vlogging readathons clearly is not for me. I keep doing 1-2 weeks and like just dropping off the next ones and just not filming them. Month-long vlogs are not for me because I don't know, they're just not for me. I could do like weekend reading vlogs and stuff like that, but I don't think I would want to do any more readathons that are monthly. And then if I don't film them, I don't do them. So basically this means I'm not doing any readathons. Unless one, like, I feel so strongly that I want to do it, which is fine. Then I'll do it. Number 4 is read more adult fantasy. I've been getting the strong urge to read them. I just need more recommendations because I don't really know where to start, because some of them are just too much for me, because it's more in the like way that things are written. I need things that are really easy to understand. So if you guys have any recommendations, let me know. But yes, that is definitely something I would want to do. Number 5 is to read why can't I speak? Number 5 is to read 1 5-star prediction each month. If this doesn't end up happening, as long as I finish every single one of them on my list, because all of them are already out or come out in 2022, so I should have picked them all up by then. That's just my goal, read every single one of them. There's 16, so at some point in the year, hopefully I'll be able to get to all of them. Number 6 is post more often. I think I started to do that at the end of at the end of 2021, I did start posting a lot more, which I was having a really fun time with because it's so fun editing on the computer. Editing on my phone, boring. I don't know why, but it was so boring. Now on my computer, I can like multitask because I always have to have 2 things going on at the same time, or I cannot do any of them, you know? So like when I edit, I have to listen to a video or listen to music or listen to white noise. I don't care. But as long as I do something else, like I can get it done. But if I just am editing, miserable experience. Okay, number 7 is to read every single Jennifer Armentrout book published. Let me say, I'm not that close. Okay, so I have a Notion page that's called Authors to Binge, and I just put, there's like 9 authors on here that I want to binge all their books. And Jennifer, I'm at like, the last update I have is 34 out of 69 books read from her. I feel like it's probably changed since then, but so far it says that. I do have a long way to go. And you know, it probably won't happen, but we're gonna try our best. Number 8 is DNF even more, because sometimes I, for example, am on my computer, I have my ebook up here, and then I get disinterested and don't read it for months. Like, obviously I'm not interested, so I need to just delete the ebook. Or if it's a book on my physical shelf that I don't like, unhaul it. That's why after this I'm filming a try a chapter tag, and if I don't enjoy the chapter, unhaul. But yeah, I want to DNF more. I already DNF a lot, I will say, but I want to DNF even more. It's such a good feeling. Number 9 is read physical books every single month. You all need to know Taylor doesn't read her books. Everybody knows that already. I made fun of for this. Obviously, Sherilyn and Zoe, they brutally make fun of me because I don't read any of the books I buy. But Taylor will this year. Number 10, our last one, is to read at least 50% authors of color, because we need to read more diversely. My alarm just went off. to film the next video, heart attack. Okay, now we're gonna go on to the 5-star predictions. Sorry that this video is so long, unless it's not. Unless Taylor edited a lot out of it, which is wonderful. The first 5-star prediction of 2022 is Book of Night by Holly Black. It's her first adult fantasy, and I'm so excited about it. It's giving me Ninth House. I'm hoping it's as good as Ninth House. It's just mostly like YA author, really popular books, boom, adult fantasy. And Ninth House worked so well for me. I'm just hoping Book of Night works too. And the cover is gorgeous and I need it. I need to buy that book. It is so gorgeous. It is beautiful. Next is Skin of the Sea by Natasha Bowen. I love mermaids still. Like, back in my mermaid days, I literally told people at school I had a serious secret and I pretended. I think I convinced myself I was a mermaid. I want to get back in my mermaid era. But a lot of the mermaid books I'm finding are like really old and not good. So I'm hoping, because this one came out in 2021. I'm hoping it's better. I don't know. Even if it's not, like, the cover is beautiful. The next one is A Shadow in the Ember by Jennifer L. Armentrout. The like prequel series to From Blood and Ash. I don't remember what that's called. Blood and Ash, is that what the series is called? I don't know. But this is a sequel series. This is the only one that has come out so far. But just the things I'm hearing online, like, I'm just so excited about it. And I feel like I'm gonna love it. Like, I've watched reading vlogs, non-spoiler, of course, but I've watched reading vlogs and they're getting me so excited about it. So this will have to be soon. I just have to read The Crown of Gilded Bones, I feel like. Question. If any of you have finished The Crown of Gilded Bones and read this, do I need to finish The Crown of Gilded Bones, or can I just read this? Because I just want to read this. Next is Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. I'm adding this because I'm hoping it's not a super romantic book, because I think I like those less from her. So I'm hoping it's more personal life issues. Obviously it's gonna have a romance in it, because I think all of her books do, that I've read at least. Putting this on here, like, I have extremely dramatically changing ratings. What the heck was that? Dramatically changing ratings from her. So this is just a gamble. I don't know how this one's gonna go, but I'm excited about it. The next book is Elantris by Brandon Sanderson. I've heard from a lot of people that this is the roughest Brandon Sanderson book, but I had started Elantris and Words of, what is it called? The Way of Kings on the same day, and I was wanting to read Elantris more than The Way of Kings. I keep forgetting the name every second. I mean, I'm not saying it's better. Definitely not saying that. It's it's easier to read for me, easier to understand. The Way of Kings, I'm definitely gonna read it and I'm sure it's great, but so far I just was more leaning towards Elantris and I was just enjoying it so much. The setting of Elantris I adore, and can't remember their names. The two guys that are in Elantris, I love them so much. I don't know, what's his name? Is his name Gaiden? I feel like it's Gaiden. Gaiden. His name is Ryden. I swear there's a guy with a name that starts with a G. Right? I like Ryden. He's the other guy that I like. But what's the... Galadin. I literally merged their names. Gaiden? Is his name Gaiden or Galadin? Guys, I'm struggling. Galadon? Yes. He's my favorite character. I am so excited to finish the book. 5-star prediction. Okay, next is Blood Marked by Tracy Deonn. This is the sequel to Legend Born, and I don't know, I just love it. And honestly, my mom has gotten me very excited about it because I had read it early in the year, and then a couple months ago, I made her read it, and she really loved it, and we were discussing it, and now I'm like, come on, next book, immediately. I don't know what this one's about. I kind of want to go into it completely blind. I don't want to read the synopsis at all. I just want to see what's gonna happen. But yes, I'm very excited about it, and if you haven't read Legend Born, you should read Legend Born. Next is The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang. This is a sequel to The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. I love The Poppy War, gave it 5 stars, and I'm even more excited about this next one because the first one had a lot of setup with her at the school and everything, but now she is learning about her powers. I am just so excited to get into the next one. So the next 5-star prediction is Jade City by Fonda Lee. I heard that is urban fantasy with crime and magic, and I'm so excited for it. I have to read that like tonight. All of these I want to start today. The next book is For Your Own Good by Samantha Downing. I actually have started this. I read like 4 chapters. This book is hilarious. And yes, it's like a thriller, but I've heard that it's more of a comedy, and honestly, I understand. It is so funny. The main character of this book, I can tell that he's gonna be like a killer. I don't know if that's a spoiler or not. If it's not, I look like a doofus. It probably said that in the synopsis. So the main character, can't remember, don't expect me to know their names. I read 4 chapters. But there's a guy who's like a teacher and he hates these like snobby, tries to make everybody like them. What's that kind of word? What is the word for that? They try to make everybody like them. Suck-ups? Is that the word? Anyway, that he hates those kinds of people. And there's this student, this is the person, by the way, this is a student who is that kind of kid, and every single teacher likes him except this one teacher. They have to kind of, I think, work together because like the student wants to do an extra credit thing so that the teacher will give the student a better grade on his paper, so they have to like spend time together, and the teacher just hates the student. I hope you really enjoyed that. Thank you. Next, we have Our Violent Ends by Chloe Gong. We already have my little bookmark in there because I'm starting this tonight. My audiobook came in right before this video started, and I read the first book with the audiobook and the physical book so I could tab it but also listen, and that was such a great reading experience, and I really loved the audiobook. I really loved the audiobook for the first one, and I just felt like I had to read it the second one with the audiobook, so I've been waiting for a lot of weeks for it, and it finally came in. I'm super excited. I don't know what this is about, of course. When do I know? I don't ever read synopsis, I feel like. I just go off the cover. Wow. Anyways, I just know that the ending is quite crazy. And I'm sure it's great as much as the first one was, and I'm very excited. Next is Six Crimson Cranes by Elizabeth Lim. I know this book is like, this girl has to go and find her brothers that were turned into cranes, and that's all I know. That's all I need to know with this cover. That's all I need to know. I'm also waiting for my audiobook to come in because it has like 2 weeks left. Those 2 weeks cannot come fast enough. Next is Hunting Prince Dracula by Carrie Maniscalco. As you can see, I have a couple tabs and I'm this far in, but I think this is gonna be a 5-star, maybe, because it's like the first book, which was fantastic. I didn't give it 5 stars, I gave it 4.5, but this has to do with like vampires. Maybe. I don't know if this is going that route, or maybe if it's like a person that's doing, I don't know, but it has vampires involved somewhat so far, and I feel like that might move it up to a 5. And I just love these characters so much. I love them both. They're fantastic. And this book is quite a bit long. I don't know if it's quite a bit. I would say it's longer than the first one, so I'm obviously having trouble getting into it, but I probably should read this tonight as well. I could actually read this tonight because I have the physical book and I'm not struggling to, I'm on page 82. Next is Not Even Bones by Rebecca Schaefer. I already read through the entire webtoon of this. Season 2, oh my god, I just remembered season 2 came out. I should probably get to that. I could read that tonight. Oh my god, tonight is gonna be jam-packed. I already read the entire webtoon and it would be a 5-star because the webtoon was fantastic, and this is amazing too. It is the webtoon exactly so far. It just has more information, and I love that because obviously the webtoon is just picture and like a couple words, but this is just full on describing everything. It has what's in the minds of the characters, and it's perfect because I already have a picture of what everybody looks like based on the webtoon, and I already love the webtoon art. So it's like everything is going into this and it's perfect. Next is The Retribution of Mara Dyer, because I've read the first 2 in the series and gave both of them 5 stars. I just read them in 2020, so I'm hoping I can remember everything that happened in those 2. It's pretty fresh in my mind, so I would say I'll remember, but I don't really know. But I do want to start this really soon, and I don't know, I think it'll be a 5-star. Based on how much I already love everybody and love the story and everything, I think it'll be a 5-star. And then there's a spin-off series that I'm going to read after this. Next is The Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Garber, which is the sequel to Once Upon a Broken Heart. Obviously, I'm expecting this to be a 5-star. I don't know. I feel like it is gonna be better than the first one because the plot is gonna get started. There was a plot in the first one. It just wasn't super jam-packed, I feel like. So maybe the second one will have more of that. Either way, if it's exactly like the first one, if she copy and pastes the entire first book and says it's the sequel, I will love it. You know, I will give it 5 stars. Okay, and then last on this list, the random 16th book is This Woven Kingdom by Tahira Mafi. The synopsis was very vague, but I love the cover. It reminds me of These Violent Delights. I actually thought it was like a novella for a second. I was like, hold on, but it's not. It is by a different author. And very vague synopsis, but it's like I think it says something about like a servant girl who is actually a secret heir to something, but it seems good. I've heard a lot of good things from people that got like a ARC copy, so yeah, very excited. That is the full video. Hope it wasn't too long. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave any of your 5-star predictions down below if you're not making a video about it. I would love to hear. Maybe I can add them to my TBR. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video, hopefully coming out soon. Goodbye.